So we move on. Viewer from Bemidji wants to talk about MnSCU, and this viewer is concerned about there's a argument going on between the chancellor and faculty over the charting the future planning process. MnSCU is asking for money. The governor's indicated there's a freeze until those issues are resolved. What's the legislature planning on doing with regard to MnSCU? Who wants to take a run at that?
I sit on the Higher Education Committee.
Then we'll start with you, Senator Nelson.
To give you a little bit about that. Well, certainly in the governor's proposal, his proposal was to fund the University of Minnesota, most notably in that $30 million to bring their med school, their research back up into a top-tier med school and research facility. The governor chose to put the University of Minnesota in his budget, but he did not put any money for MnSCU in his budget that he released, his budget proposal. However, it is interesting. There is enough money on the bottom line for MnSCU, should he put it in there. So it's a kind of an interesting way for the governor to make a point. But the larger point, which is the changing face of higher education. Higher education has changed dramatically with our digital economy and the digital world that we live in today. And you can't have a model that is a model of, it's an expiring model. And I think higher education is going to be significantly challenged. And how is it going to continue to provide that high quality education that our workforce depends upon, or that our economy depends upon, and do it in a way that is sustainable for the universities in the light of the fact that we have free online education being offered from universities all across the nation. They're called MOOCs, massive online open source courses. Yale, Harvard, Stanford, you take your choice. You can take those courses just like they're being offered in the class online for free. So higher education does have to change. That's the point of that. We have to change the model of higher education. And I don't know what all is in the chancellor's charting the future, but it is true. Higher education has to change its model to be sustainable. And I know change is hard, but I do hope that those differences are resolved. I don't know that the governor holding funds back like that is maybe the best way to do it, but I'm sure we'll get to a point where MnSCU is funded before the session ends.
Senator Franzen?
And I'd also sit on the Higher Ed Committee, although I'm brand new to it, so I'll tackle the issue. And in terms of, MnSCU is a big part of our higher education system, a very important part of it. And to Senator Nelson's point, it's going to be a very significant part of the solution of getting our workforce ready for the jobs that we need and the skills gap that we know exists in some areas as of today. So MnSCU is critical. So I'm sure, it's great to have a leader with a vision. Change is hard. So I'm hopeful that this will be resolved and that, any conflicts will get settled. But I also admire someone who has a bold vision and is trying to implement change. So I'm hopeful, again, that they'll find a resolution and that we'll continue to have MnSCU as a good partner for our state higher ed system.
You see it up close and personal.
Yeah, I've lived this, and I'll tell you, I work at a university that has really been successful at shared governance. And shared governance might be something that just works in universities, but it works well. And it's actually a principle that I think applies to state government agencies. I encourage you as the chair of the state government committee to take a look at it. And I think it's served Minnesota State well. And if you look at Minnesota State Mankato, we've had a pretty good run for about 20 years. And the concept is
that hockey team is pretty good.
Well, yeah, the hockey team, that's another item.
Go Mavericks!
But really, the concept is that you draw upon the wisdom of all. And I'm sitting here with 3 female legislators. It wasn't that long ago that all the legislators were male, and we worked without the wisdom of the broad population. That's kind of another example of it. But I think the chancellor actually stumbled a little with the charting of the future. He stumbled as it was unrolled, and in 2 ways. One, the contract with the McKinsey Group that was unknown, it was secret, and a $2 million contract that got that set up. That's not shared governance. And then as the committees were structured to investigate the various areas that should be looked at, whether it be diversity or moving in the future in different ways, I've seen the reviewing only involved one community, out of a group of 18, only involved one community college faculty and one faculty from the university system from 18 people. there's one thing we know about universities, is the professors who stay around. And students come and go, administrators can come and go, but professors tend to stay. It's a long-term a long-term commitment, both from the university and the professors themselves. And so I think it's important that voice be held, because that's where the education is delivered. If we're going to chart the future, it will be on the backs, in large measure, will be implemented in large measure by those who are teaching the classes, teaching the students. And so it started slowly, and it started inappropriately, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be fixed. And I do know that people are talking and they're working and they're negotiating to try and work through those differences. And I think the differences can be resolved. I think a lot of the ideas in charting the future make very good sense. But I think it's incumbent upon MnSCU to really develop a stronger shared governance system. And the system will be stronger, and the students will benefit from that. And so I'm confident they can do that, but they've got to get going and demonstrate that. And the governor made a good point. It needs to be demonstrated. I understand that really well.
Well, if I could digress, I actually had 4 University of Minnesota students in my office today. And, separate from the MnSCU issue, what was interesting to me is they came to the legislature and they're looking for a tuition freeze. And I asked them, what are some of your costs these days? Because I remember what it was like going to college. It took me until the age of 30 to pay off my college loans. But they're looking at, they spend almost $1,000 on books alone. And you can't imagine that kind of cost. And I think most students, if they haven't had somebody that had gone to college prior to them, they don't know those other hidden costs. I asked them about their rent and food, and there was a student from Morris, and she says it's really expensive to buy food in Morris. So I think that overall in our higher ed system, though it's not pertinent to the caller's question, I think that we need to be mindful of what we're putting on the backs of our students and try to rein that in.
Well, both systems are asking for a tuition freeze as well, so they're both grappling with those costs.
But we need to just say, though, a tuition freeze is maybe a misnomer. A tuition freeze is a tuition freeze, but the taxpayers are being asked to pay more to hold that tuition down. So I will say the higher cost of education of higher ed is a problem. We are 4th or 5th in the nation for the amount of student debt, and that is a list that we should not be leading. So there is a lot of work to do there, but I will say a tuition freeze while there's no free lunch. There's no free tuition either, or tuition freeze, I should say.
But really, historically, 10, 20 years ago, the state had a much bigger stake in higher education. This is a national issue. And, I was talking with, I also had U of M students in my office today, including one who I...
Must have been U of M student day.
Well, it was. Including one student who I had met this summer out on a farm in Nicollet County, and she had secured an agri grant to add a robot to the family dairy operation so that she could... with the idea of expanding the dairy so that she can become part of the farming operation. But the point I'm trying to make is that over time we've let that state investment erode. And the education is for the student, but it's also that when we educate our students through our public school systems, we're educating for Minnesota as well. We're building capacity for the future of Minnesota, and everybody in Minnesota can benefit from that. And so I think we've got to be mindful of that. And I was glad we accomplished the tuition freeze in the last session. And boy, I'll tell you, that helped a lot of students. I've worked with students a long time. The economic reality of being a student, you're right, Sarah, it is real. And it's tough. And what I see is that so many students struggle to pay for college, end up working more, and that puts pressure on how much time they can apply towards their studies. And that's not the kind of investment we want to be making for the future. So.
And one thing to add to that, I do support the governor's proposal and have co-sponsored the governor's higher ed proposal. So I support that. But let me just say, the best way that we can help students, one of the best ways with debt, is make sure when they get to college that they're college ready. Right now, only 39% of the kids who take the ACT are college ready. That is a major problem when it comes to getting kids through college in a timely manner. So I think we have some work to do on that K-12 system as well.
All I'm going to say, I'm not going to say anything about the MnSCU question. I'm just going to say that some statistics crossed my desk because I serve as liaison to the Board of Law Examiners, and the number of students attending law school is at mid-1970 levels, in large part as a result of some of the economic issues that we've been discussing here. Now, for some people, the thought that there are going to be fewer lawyers entering the pipeline is not viewed as a negative. Now, I get that, but it is a sign, perhaps, of what we've been talking about here, that there's some change out there.